Welcome, welcome, welcome. We just saw ourselves the countdown to this video, and we are doing the countdown towards the application to be opened for the Diversity Visa Lottery, DV2023. Usual announced in the middle of September, between September 15th to September 20. That is the time they announce the actual dates. But the dates always have been in the first 10 days of the month of October until the first 10 days of the month of November. That is the window usual for the application. So I wanted to make sure that you know almost everything. And for the people who are going to apply for the first time, to have a clue, to see even what is the website, what is the form, how do you go and fill this form properly. I don't want people to be denied the visa after winning just because they made a mistake in the application form. I don't want to see people being denied or not being even going to the second stage of the selection process because they have been automatically denied or removed because of the technical mistakes. So let's avoid any error and see how do we fill the Diversity Visa Lottery application form properly. And this way, by filling properly, you have a guarantee of being in the selection pool. Probably you'll be one among the winners. Welcome again. This is Ernest Boniface Makulilo, EBM, and I welcome you to my channel, EBMSCHOLARS. If today is your first time to come across my YouTube channel, please consider subscribing. And don't forget to share this video to other people. I know so many people have been waiting for the moment of the application form or the application time for the Diversity Visa Lottery. So if you have been waiting for over a year, obviously, make sure that you are not going to lose the opportunity by being denied for reasons which can be avoided. So let's put it there. Secondly, the people who are able to apply, even if you are the winner of DV 2022 or the winner of DV 2021, the previous one, you can go ahead and still apply for the Diversity Visa Lottery. There is no any instruction which restrict people not to apply if they are the winner. But there is no guarantee that you are going to win just because you won the previous year. Though I know some people who have won 2 years in a row. I know now about 3 or 4 people. Number one, there is one Kenyan is in Ohio, applied the first time, DV 2021. I mean, a couple years already, but DV 2021 was the winner. And now she's also the winner for the DV 2022. I know the couple already, they're now in the US, they're here in Missouri. They applied in the DV 2020. The husband won, but Tanzania was like a month or 2 months before the interview. Tanzania was on the travel ban, so they didn't come, but they applied for the DV 2021 and they won, and they got the visa. They are now here in the US. And there is another gentleman also in Kenya applied and won. So you can apply. Don't worry that, oh, I applied last year and maybe I'm the winner. Just go ahead and apply. Unless otherwise your case number, you are the winner, DV 2022, your case number is less than 2,000 and you get your interview in October before November. Yeah, you can say, well, I already have the visa, let me not waste my time. So if you want to apply, this is the application page. The form is not here yet. If you go on this form, you will see is just to see the DV lottery results. Check your status and check the status results here. But the DV 2021 check status will go to disappear end of the September. This one will not be here. So you'll be able to see just the 2022 results only. But here, when you come to check the application time, when the application opens, there will be 2. One, it says in blue, check status, that means check your results. And there will be another one of this one here. It says in green, it says begin entry. When it says begin entry, that is the application form. So there will be no place is written application form. When you open this page, it will tell you application, it will say begin entry. And the website which I open here, you can see, is dvprogram.state.gov. That is the website which you can use to apply for the diversity visa lottery. If you go to any other website is fake. No another site is allowed to receive information or application. The US government doesn't partner with anybody. So don't go and start to go to usafi.com, whatever website.com, .net, .org. All those websites are fake. Only the website ending with .gov or .gov means is the official website of the United States government. So I just want to make sure that you understand that one. So when you go to that application, there is a sample. I'm going to show you the sample. But this sample, which I'll be able to show, when you go to apply, the first thing they will tell you, it will be, say, enter authentication code. Is usually difficult word for me all the time. Authentication code. So you put the code, you submit, whatever. This code is changing for each person. Then it will be coming to the application form itself. The application form is divided into two major parts. Part one, but this is the old form. I'm going, because it doesn't have the passport information, I will come to another place to show the passport information on the current form. So part one is just the your personal information, called the entrant information. This information, I'm going to answer them clearly to you, but I just want to understand just overall the form. What does the form look like? So that before you go to apply, you need to have this information. It has just the name, which is your full name. You start with the last, first, middle. There are some people that have done that. I'll come to that one. Come to the gender, birth date, city where you were born. I will explain to that one. Country where you were born, country of eligibility. And then number 7, this is where you are going to put the number 7 is the passport information. You must have a passport. I will explain on that one. You must have the passport. I will explain that one. Then you have to put the photo. We'll talk about the photo. After the photo, there is a mailing address. I'll come to explain the mailing address. And I even made a video about the mailing address. This one and how important it is or not important. We'll talk about that. The country where you live today. And we'll explain whether this country has any impact in the diversity visa lottery or it doesn't have, if to increase someone's chance to win or not. Because some people, they put different countries here, even if they are not live that country. Phone number, then email address. We'll talk about the education level, marital status. These are the very important part. And then the number of children. Then you click continue. We'll talk about that particular area. So this form, you can see here, with exception of the passport information, which I will show you on number 7 is the passport information. Apart from that, all the information, you have it. So don't start asking me, EBM, please fill this form for me. Because my question will be, do you know your name? That will be my question. Yes. Do you know your gender? Yes. Do you know your date of birth? Yes. Do you know the city you are born? Yes. Do you know the country you are born? Yes. Do you know... I will ask the question, do you know how to put the address? Yes. Do you know the country where you are right now? Yes. Do you know your phone number? Yes. Do you know your email address? Yes. Do you know your level of education? Yes. Do you know your marital status? Yes. Do you know the number of children? Yes. So if you know all those kind of things, why should I fill that form for you? You can fill the form. And I advise people to fill the form. Someone can fill the form for you, but I advise because I've seen some people filling the form for others. And once they win, sometimes they want you to pay them money. They feel that they just were part of you winning. So the better way, if God wants you to win, you will win, regardless whether you are the one is filling or I'm the one filling for you. So it's just about God, and God is the one deciding whether you are going to be the winner or not. Okay, so that is the form. So let me go to the Microsoft Word. On that Microsoft Word document, I will be able to explain well the form and to be able even to fill some of this information. So let's go to say we are going to fill this form. You are starting with last name, then your first name, then middle name. But there are some people who don't have middle name. So if you don't have middle name, you tick here. You see, if you have just no first name, there are some people, don't tell me who, but you must have the last name. So, but people get confused. Which one is my last name? So forget about your birth certificate on this moment. Just go to your passport. Your passport will be able to show you which one is your last name, which one is your first name, which one is your middle name. So I'm going to show you different people with their passport. These are passports of different people. I'll be able to show you. For instance, if you see this passport from New Zealand, this guy, you'll see there is a given name. So on the given names, if you have one name, it means you have just one name, and that name is the first name. If you have two names on the given name, that means you are given names. One is first, one is middle. And then when they say surname, for instance, Murdoch is his last name, which is his surname. Andrew is his first name. Middle name is Martin. What I'm trying to explain is this one. There will be the country of issue. We'll be able to see the country of issue where the passport is issued. You will see the last name is where we say, oh, surname is your surname there. And you have given names will be first. If you have one name, if you have two, will be first and the middle. Some people, they have three names on the given name. So one will be the first name, and you have two middle names. And then there are some people, they have two last names. We'll be able to see all those kind of names. Let me give you an example of another example. So this person, for instance, her name is Rivka, is a given name. So Rivka has one name only, doesn't have middle name, and has the word Toledano is the last name or surname. So if you come on that person, you'll tick no middle name. So it will be the first name and the last name only. So the names should appear as they are in the passport. Forget about how you are called in your school. This person, her first name, given name is Marina. That is the first name. But doesn't have any other given name. But on the last name, she has three last names. Morena, Bezera, Zanetti. That is last name. So she has three last names. So all the three last names will appear here. So this person doesn't have middle name, but has three last names. So you'll put that one, you'll put all three there. And you'll put first name. So that is what I wanted to explain to you to understand what does that mean. So it depends. Go on the passport and look and see what is your name look like. This person, her first name is Anna, last name is Lee from Tanzania, just as a sample. Even on the temporary passport, you'll be able to see your full name. You'll be able to see there. I will be able to explain that. So that is the first part, because how you arrange your names is very, very important. This person, her first name is Christine, middle name is Edith, last name is Murphy. So on the given name, we'll be seeing two names. So let me go here and put last name is Makulilo. Someone asked me, is it must use last name? I mean, capital letters. Is up to you. You can use capital letters, you can use small letters. It doesn't matter. For me, I usually prefer to use capital letters. Why? Because let me give you an example. For instance, when I write, for instance, I'm giving you an example, Makulilo. So sometimes they are very small to be able to see properly. So that's why I prefer to use capital letters. I can see exactly what letter I put there. For instance, between I and L, I can be able to distinguish when I put the capital letters. First name, Ernest. I have middle name, Boniface. That is my full name. So remember, the name, how you start writing, you start with the last name. You don't start with the middle name or first name. You start with the last name. Date of birth. Remember, date of birth, here you start with the month. September. But here is because it's the sample of because it is just a scroll down menu. But in the real application, let me show you. In the real application, I think you'll be given to fill the actual date of birth. You are not going to be told. So on the actual application, the month, day, year. So for that particular case, I will start with 09, because that is my month, 23, and the year is 1981. Be careful here, because sometimes you get confused. Don't put the start of birth, because majority of people usually start with the, let me zoom. You can be able to see even bigger. So you'll be able to see. So you see the name. Let me start, let me go back here. So you put the name, everything over there. Then you come to the gender. Is male or female? So my gender is male. I put my name there already. Then date of birth, I've already shown. Date of birth, you start with the month. So if, let's say, your month is November, you start with 11. If your day is 5, you are born on, so usually I always second, you put like kind of that. Like I usually like to put 2. You see, like what they do here, I want to show you. They put like month MM, means put 2 numbers of the month. So if your month, for instance, mine is September, so I don't just put 9. I just go and put 09. The date is 29, this one, then 81. So that is something you need to know. So the place of birth, enter the city only. Do not enter district, county, or province or state. So I know this is confusing some people. To avoid any confusion, go to your passport and write the date of place of birth which is written on the passport. If the passport has written you are born in Nairobi, put Nairobi. Even though you are born in the place of birth, in the birth certificate is written maybe you are born in west side, whatever of Nairobi. Don't care about the specific area. If you are born, the passport is written you are born in Dar es Salaam, put Dar es Salaam. Don't start putting I was born in whatever. Write what is written on the passport. I can give the examples. Let's go to see this lady. The place of birth is Ilala, which is the part of Dar es Salaam. So is Ilala. You put Ilala. That is the place of birth. Forget about what is written on your passport. I mean, on your birth certificate. Place of birth, Jerusalem. That's where you are going to put. You put what is written on the passport. This is a visa, so it doesn't have the place of birth, basically. Place of birth, Zenith, or Zenith, whatever it is. Place of birth, Lamport, or Lamport, whatever. That is the place of birth. So you write what is written on the passport. Place of birth, Melbourne. So don't go and put whatever you think is correctly. Place of birth, Elliott Lake, Canada. You put what is written on the passport. That is the place of birth. Unless otherwise you do not know completely, means you have a passport. So put what is written in the passport. Then the country you are born. This is very careful. this is the country of birth. This country is the one is going to determine your eligibility. Be careful choosing the wrong country of birth. So, for instance, you were born in Tanzania, and by mistake you put Tajikistan. You see, you put Tajikistan, that means your eligibility is going to another country. You're putting Taiwan, you'll be in trouble. So you have to make sure that is a very correct country. Your country is Kenya. So don't put Kiribati or Kazakhstan, because choosing the wrong country of birth, instead of North Korea, you put South Korea. Instead of Korea, you put Kosovo, because they're just nearby. You'll be in so much trouble because you'll be denied the visa. Country of birth, instead of putting Ghana, you put German. You are in trouble. Instead of Gabon, you put Georgia. You needed to be in so much trouble to prove that your eligibility is from another country. So let's say this person is from Sierra Leone. So you have to find Sierra Leone. So by mistake, you put another country, you are in trouble. Put the correct country you were born, because that is where your eligibility is there. So unless otherwise, when they say the country of eligibility, by default, the country of eligibility is the country of birth. Unless otherwise, let's say you are born in a country which is not eligible. Let's say you are born in Canada. Canada is not eligible. And then you are going to claim eligibility based on your spouse. So if you are born in any country in Africa, exception for Nigeria at the moment, or in Asia, you must know which countries are eligible. Automatically, the answer will be yes. Are you claiming eligibility based on the country of you are born? The answer is supposed to be yes. Unless otherwise your country of birth is not eligible and you are using eligibility based on the country of your spouse or somebody else. Let's go to the instruction. I can show you on the country of birth. What do they mean? Eligibility. I want to make sure that you understand it very well. So the countries at the moment which are not eligible are these one. But most of these, they're going to change in the DV 2023 because there are so many countries that will be returned to the application. So number one is the country where you're supposed to be the native of the country which is eligible. The only way, if there is a parents or whatever, you can use the parents, or you can use also is eligible country. So that is one thing. So when you tick yes, by default, it will delete, it will stop. You cannot do anything here. If you say no, means, so if you are born in Sierra Leone, you're born in Kenya, you're born in Tanzania, you're born in Ghana, you're born in the Philippines, you're born in Dubai, you're born in Qatar, all those countries are eligible. So the answer is yes. Unless otherwise, this, don't put it no. Someone did a big mistake and won, was born in Kenya, but currently lives in South Africa, and say is not claiming eligibility based on the country of birth, and put the country South Africa, thinking that the question wanted to put the country of where the person lives now. So in the end, this person has to prove that was born in South Africa or has eligibility based from South Africa. If you say I put by mistake, that will depend on the on what. Depend on. Let me go to the instruction, which they say failure to put the country of birth. Let me go to the more instructions. Putting a wrong country of birth. So here they say, this is the official instruction. Listing an incorrect country of eligibility or changeability. That means one to which you cannot establish a valid claim will not make you eligible. But this is, I'm talking, this is where DV 2022 But if it is DV2023, the instruction is the same. DV2021 instruction is the same. So if you list a wrong country of eligibility, you will be denied the visa. Then it comes to the passport. In order to submit the entry for the diversity visa program, you must currently possess a valid and expired passport from your country of nationality, unless you have exemption. Please answer this one. So you must have the passport. You put the passport name, last name, you put the first name or the middle name. You have to put the names as they appear in the passport. For instance, this person doesn't have middle name, is Anna Lee. Anna first name, last name is Lee, so no middle name. This person has 3 last names, no middle name. You have to put as they appear. Then you have to put the passport number. Here is confusing to some people. There are countries, passport numbers, just like in US, I'm giving an example, they're just numbers. Some countries, they start with letters. EAE, like most of the countries in East Africa, they have numbers. Letters and numbers. There are some, they start with whatever numbers in your country. If the passport has letters and numbers, put both letters and numbers. The only exception is when you are going to fill the temporary passport. Temporary passport, for example, for the East Africa, they start with the word TP and then letter and numbers. Don't write the word TP. TP is just the abbreviation for temporary passport. Just write letters and numbers after the word TP, after the word temporary passport. You see below the barcode, there is the word temporary passport, then there is a barcode, then TP-AA000ADO, whatever. Just don't put the word TP, put the rest of the numbers. And if there is letters and numbers, put there, but don't put the word TP. If you put TP and the rest of everything, you'll be in so much trouble. Because failure or to put the wrong passport number, you'll be denied the visa. If you go to the passport, you should enter the passport. The passport must be valid. Those one. And then another thing is yeah, so putting the wrong passport number. So make sure that you put the correct passport numbers and all the information of the passport. The only exception, there is exception. If you don't have the passport, use exception. So don't tick the passport I don't have. If you put exception, this one will disappear. So don't tick this one. I'm not required to submit the passport because there are only 3 reasons why you cannot apply without a passport. 1, you are stateless. You will tick the stateless, the reason. If you are not stateless, you have to say you are a national from a communist country, controlled country, and you are unable to get the visa. To get the passport. If your country is not a communist, you have to choose unable to obtain the passport and have received the individual waiver of the passport requirement by the Secretary of Homeland Security or Secretary of State. You must get the waiver later. I cannot get the passport just because I'm unable to get the passport. You are unable to get the waiver later from the Secretary of Homeland Security and the Secretary of Homeland, that one. So this is what the instruction says. All this explanation, what do I need in the passport? They explain. If you put the passport which is expired, you will be disqualified. If you put the passport which is not valid, by not valid, I'm giving an example. There are some changes in passport, for instance, in East Africa, Tanzania, Kenya, Uganda, Rwanda, Sudan, South Sudan, they change the passport. So if your passport is the only passport, even if expiration date is 2025, but those passports are not valid anymore. You are not allowed to use them. So don't use them. Get the new passport. If you don't have, get the temporary passport. If you selected one of these exemptions on your DV entry, you will be required to explain how you meet the exemption you selected. The exemptions apply only to the individuals who are unable to obtain a passport. If you selected an exemption because of a delay in obtaining a passport, just because the country, because of the pandemic or situation, you are delayed to get the passport, whether or not delay, whatever is within your control or out of your control, you will be disqualified based on that exemption, and you will be denied the visa despite of winning. So you must have the valid reason. And the reason are these three. Stateless individuals. Stateless is a very rare situation. If you check this box, you will be required to provide the evidence to establish that you did not acquire the nationality of your country of birth under the laws of that particular country. Otherwise, you will be denied the visa despite of winning. Nation of communist country. You must establish, you will be required to establish evidence, evidence to establish that you are unable to obtain a passport from a government of your country nationality. So this is the, if let's say we know the situation which is going on in Afghanistan at the moment. What has happened in Afghanistan right now? It is impossible for you to get the passport. You can claim like this is beyond communist country, and you are unable to get the passport. So if you are from Afghanistan, you can choose. If I'm applying from Afghanistan, I can apply without a passport and choose I'm a national of a communist-controlled country, because Taliban will be considered as communists because they control everything, and you are unable to get the passport because we know what has happened. Now there is no government. There is a Taliban coming in. There is no Ministry of Home Affairs. Let me go and apply for the passport because I want to go to America. They are going to, you will be in trouble if they will see you that you are going to be alliance with America, so you will not be given the passport. So I'm just saying, if you're from Afghanistan, you can apply and use this exception. So don't choose that one. Go ahead and choose the passport. You have to have a passport number and all other kind of things. Then it goes to the photo. You have to upload the photo. So let me quickly give just an example. Let me give just one quick example. Let me use just one photo, and let's see the photo which is not in the compliance. This photo doesn't, you see, they will tell you the image is not square. They will tell you. So choose a new photo. The photo must meet the requirement. And I've already made so many videos about how to edit these photos. So I'm giving you an example. If this photo is correct. The photo must be that way, height, whatever, 600 by 600, everything correct. So, but quick way, how to edit the photo. You go to this egreencardphoto.com, this website. When you take a photo, make sure that you are almost a little bit, even here they say stand at least 4 feet away from someone, from the camera, so that you can have a bigger space. You can have a space which can allow you to edit the what? To allow you to edit the picture. Because if it is too close, it will be practically difficult for you to edit. So that will be very, very difficult. So my advice for you will be to make sure that when you take a photo, leave a space on the head, leave a space on top of your head. I mean, just so that you can have opportunity to edit without any problem at all. So let me give an example. let me give just an example of the DV photo. So you see when I'm uploading, you see this photo, because the original photo is just, let me show you. This is the photo. It is just like bigger in this area. So when you come, you can see there are this green mark. This green you have to put like to ensure compliance. You have to put this on top of the head and on the chin here. So kind of like that. Then you click continue. It can come here, download. Then the photo will come. 600 times 600 dimensions, which is the dimension required. The kilobytes is 200. Is 28.1 kilobytes. Which is supposed to meet the requirements. And I'm giving an example. If I do this way, we'll see, like, if I were to make sure you can see the black on the side, you can be able to see the photo is correct in that way. So I'll put the website on how you can edit this photo based on here. But also, there is this website, remove.bg is a website which I usually tell people you can remove the background. If your background has different color, like is not black, is not white. Like for instance, this person said the original. Let's go to the original. Oh, not let me use the original is white, but it's not a pure white. So I go to edit the photo, then I'm going to choose the color. So I'm going to choose color. So you see now, if I download this one, it will have the typical white background or plain background, like that way. And so this is also a free site which I use to remove the background. This one is allowed. It's not like photo editing, like a complete. You are going to remove. You are going to make a big mess of your thing. So for instance, like assume, let me give another example. I'm just showing you how can you remove the background, but this photo is not correct. But just this photo helps you to edit any background. It's not the correct photo for green card, but I'm just so sure you can remove the background. You can change the color at any time, whatever you want. Yeah, so I'm going to show you how to do that. So you edit, you upload the photo. Then you are coming to the address. So on the address, this is very, very important. Many people get confused to fill on the address. So let me show you how to properly fill the address. This address means nothing. Let me start with that one. This address means nothing. The address means nothing because they are not going to send any document to you. So when they say in care of, that means you want to use someone else's address. I'm giving you an example. There are countries in developing countries have the address, mailing address. Mail is a letter. So the address where you receive the letter. In America or in most of European countries, where you receive your mail is at your home. But some people in Africa, they can go to the PO box at the post office, get the actual. So here you can put in care of if your letter goes through somewhere, but it's not important. You can put the address, you can put the physical address. For instance, your address is 123. Let's say the address will be 123 Johnson Street. That is your address. As I said, you can put it capital letters or small letters. It doesn't matter. So Johnson Street. If you have the house number, you can say house number 1, number 5, number 10. Address number 2 is optional. Leave it. Unless otherwise, you can take out the house number. You can put here our apartment number. 3W or 3C, depending on the house number, if you have the house number, or the street number, whatever. Then city or town. Let's say you live in Dar es Salaam. You put Dar es Salaam. State, province, whatever. So you can put the same city, whatever, if you do not know. If your country doesn't have the state, doesn't have those kind of things, you can just put the district the same. Postal address. If you, in Africa or Asia, most of the countries, they have what they call postal code. So postal code, for instance, Tanzania is 255. The number which you put on your phone when you call the international phone number. Kenya, for instance, that one, 254. Uganda, 256. So go and look on what the phone number, the one you are putting there, that is the code you are going to put. But even if you put no postal code or zip code, there is no problem. Does that make sense? And then choose the country, put your country. Remember, this address, they are not going to send any document on this address. So don't start complicating. EBMs, give me your address. Can I use the address? This is not the address like the address when you win the DV lottery, when you are supposed to fill the form that you are coming to America and you'll be where the address will be going to live in America. No. So don't force someone to give the address. You think that if someone gives me the address in America, I'll be going to win because the address is in the United States. No. Put the address where you live. If you don't have this one, put P.O. box and then put the number of the address. Even if you put the fake randomly number, there is no problem. This address whether you don't put it, don't worry, it's optional. They are not going to use this phone number at all. Then the other part, which is very, very crucial, is the email address. Nowadays, it's not optional. The email address is important. Is a must. Why is it a must? Because correspondence may be offered in the future. So put the email address, because what if you forget, you lose your confirmation number? How do you get to retrieve the confirmation number? To retrieve the confirmation number, you'll be required, when we say you go to apply, if you lose the confirmation number, when you come to check the status, when they come to check the status, you have to click forgot confirmation number. If you forgot the confirmation number, you have to put if you forgot the confirmation number, one of the information you needed to have is the email address you use it to, the email address you used. So for that particular case, the email address is very, very important. Phone number is optional. Email address is mandatory. You have to put the email address. My advice will be create your own email address. Husband and wife, you can use the same email address. But don't use the email address of if you go to the internet cafe, cyber, whatever those areas, don't use their email, because they can decide to say they forgot the confirmation number and they don't give you the information. Create Gmail, Yahoo, whatever it is, email address, and use it. That is very, very important to know. So that is, usually I'm using this one because it's colored, and on the form, you'll be able to find out the same thing, which will be the yellow color, kind of that. So then after that, it comes to the education part. What is the highest level of education today, the day you are applying? Remember, they are not asking the level of education on the day you are coming to America or the day of the results. On October, if you are applying on October 10, on that day you are applying October 10, what is the level of education you have? So if your level of education is primary, you tick it primary. When they say high school, no degree, what does that mean? Because some people get confused. What is the difference between high school no degree, high school degree, or high school diploma? The high school degree and high school diploma are used as interchangeable. Meaning of diploma in USA. Diploma is just the certificate. People do not know. While the diploma is a level of education in other countries. In America, when we say diploma, this is diploma. Whether it's high school, whether it's primary school, whether it's university, whether it's kindergarten, this, what you are given after completing, whether it's high school, whether it's just this, whatever, when you graduate, this is what is called diploma. So diploma is not a level of education in America. So you'll be able to find out the high school. So when they say high school, no degree, it means you are in high school or you went to high school, you didn't graduate. You didn't finish high school. But there are some people who, let's say, are in Tanzania or in Kenya, I mean, in Tanzania and Uganda, for instance. I can give the example and you can see in your case. People go to what they call ordinary secondary school, not advanced or not high school. So if you are ordinary secondary school, senior 4 in Uganda or O-level in Tanzania or in other West African countries, just choose high school, no degree, because you didn't go to high school completely and you are not primary school. You are above primary, you are in secondary school, but you didn't finish high school. When you choose high school degree or high school diploma, whatever, depending on whatever they are using, it means you finished the high school. You have the certificate. Not you are going to finish, you have the certificate. Remember, don't be tempted to put doctorate thinking that if I put doctorate, they will choose me. The level of education has nothing to do with the selection. The level of education will be applicable when you win. Vocational, when they put the vocational, it means you just went to vocational trade school, but a vocational is not equivalent to high school, but it will help you to the work experience, to the occupation, if it requires training and work experience. So if you went, you finish primary school, you went to secondary, but you didn't finish high school, you went for diploma, that is vocational. If you are at the university right now and you are studying, you didn't finish, you are still the university student, or you went to the university, it took 2 years, but you didn't finish, we call some university courses, meaning you went to study bachelor degree, either you are still studying, you haven't finished yet on the day you are applying. University degree, it means you have bachelor degree right now, you completed your studies. Some graduate, it means you are some graduate level courses. Currently, you are studying masters, you haven't graduated. Or you went to do masters, you haven't finished yet. Masters means you have finished your master's degree. Some doctoral, that means you are still doing some doctoral courses, or you have finished your coursework, you haven't finished your dissertation. Then doctoral. So in the DVLOTTERY application form, you just put the highest level of education on the day of application, not in the future. Remember, there is no any place to put work experience in the diversity visa lottery application. There is no the place where you are supposed to put the work experience. Work experience you will go to show when you win. You'll put in the visa form and you'll be able to show on the visa interview. Then you come to put the information about your spouse. This is very important. If you put a wrong status, you'll be in trouble. There is one person. First of all, let me start. Unmarried is someone who is not married. You are single. Whether you are engaged, whether you are tomorrow is your day to get married, you are still single as today. The day you are applying, if you are not married, you are single. Don't put a wrong marital status, because if you say you are married, you have to prove that you are married. But don't say you are unmarried just because you are far away from your spouse and you cannot get the photos, or you have conflict with your spouse and you say, I'm going to apply as unmarried. No. If you are married, you are married. If you are unmarried, you are unmarried. There is no, oh, this is my girlfriend, this is my fiancé, let me put you as married. No, you are not married. Majority, if you are married, you have to choose this one, unless otherwise your spouse is already a US citizen or permanent resident. If your spouse is also a citizen of your country, you have to choose married, but my spouse is not a US citizen or is not a US citizen or permanent resident. That means if you win, your spouse might come with you or not come with you, but that is. Someone posted this, chose this in a wrong way. I was giving the advice. Someone says married and put it in a wrong way, unless otherwise, if your spouse is a US citizen or green card lottery winner, I mean, is a green card holder, you don't need to add the information of your spouse because they don't need a green card again, or they don't need to become a US citizen, because they already are. So make sure that you put the marital status correct. If you are married, you are married, and married is here. If you are divorced, you put you are divorced. And by divorced, that means you have the legal document that you are divorced. Not you are conflict with your husband and your wife. Oh, just go home. And that is divorce. That is not a divorce. If you don't have the court document, you are not divorced. Widowed, that means your spouse already died. Legally separated. When you say I'm separated, it has to be legally. Legal separation is arrangement. You are still married but live apart by the court order. So that is very important. If you are not legally separated by the court order, you must include your spouse, even if you plan to get divorced. Unless otherwise it's a legal separation, you put the legal separation here. If it's not, you are still married. That is very important. I want to take the time because some people are denied the visas because of this mistake. Okay, let's go to the instruction. Even here, they put on the form, they tell you, failure to list your eligible spouse is a ground to disqualification, which is explained in detail on the instruction number 14, 15, whatever around that. On the DVLOTTERY instruction number 13, marital status. They explain in detail here. Failure to list your eligible spouse or listing someone who is not your spouse will make your application, you are not eligible, you'll be denied. You and your dependents, all of you, you'll be denied. So that is the big thing. So don't say, I forgot. You cannot say, I forgot I'm married, you apply as a single. No, you cannot. Number of children. Let me go again to the children. Number 14. Children must be natural children under the age of 21 and married. Must be alive under the age of 21 and married. Whether those children live with you or they live somewhere else. Whether you intend to come with them or you not intend to come with them. As long as those children are your biological children or the children you have adopted, by adopting, it must be legal adoption by the court. Not just by supporting one child from another country or your relative, whatever. No. Or a stepchild living who is alive under the age of 21 and married. What if you have a child who is under the age of 21, is unmarried, but that your child has a child, because that case happened, one person won, but included the child who is under the age of 21 and included the grandchild. You are not allowed to include the grandchild. Just include your child under the age of 21 and married. If someone is 20 years old today, you apply today, and you become 21 when the results are out or after October, you will still be able to come, because at the time of applying, you are under the age of 21. If you go and say you have 0 child here, and you click submit, the form will go. Remember, this is not the actual form. The form will go to the next part. The next part, which will be for you to go that way. If you say you are married, automatically it will say that way. And if you say you have 2 children, if you click continue, it will say continue. It will give you the next page, page number 2. I'm going to show page number 2. Page number 2 will be able to show you. Page number 2 will be able to show you the 2 parts. First of all, to show the part of marriage, there will be one marriage. There will be one place to put the information of the spouse, which will be the name of the spouse, the gender of the spouse, date of birth of the spouse, place of birth, and a photo. If you say you have 2 children, 2 spots for children will come there. If you say you have one spot will come. If you say you have 0, there is no spot for a child will be able to come there. So let's go here and see the sample form. So you fill the form. You said you are married with 1 child or 2 children. So it will say click continue, click continue. By clicking continue, it will take to the derivative part. The derivative part is this one. First, it will give you the spouse. If you are married with 4, 10 wives, it's up to you. Over here, it will give 1 spot. And by law, you are supposed to add the first spouse, whatever. So you put the information here of your spouse, name, birth details, gender, marital status, gender, city your spouse was born, country your spouse was born, the photo of your spouse. The photo of your spouse must meet the requirements, just like the photo of the main applicant. And then if you say you have a child number 1, it will come the information. Put the name, date details, gender, city was born, everything, the photo again. Then, if you have 1 child only, it will be that way. If you have 2 children, it comes to child number 2. You have 3 children, it will be child number 3. Then you click continue. If you click continue, it will come to the place where it says submit. Up to that moment, you'll be able to see up to that moment, you'll be able to see where it says the place to submit. And once you submit, it will be able to show you something which is called the confirmation number. We'll be able to see. I'm going to show you in 1 minute. I'm going to show you in 1 minute. So if you click submit, make sure that you fill the form just within a few minutes. If you click submit, it will say submission confirmation entry received. Success. It will tell you the name with a comma. That will be the name will start with comma. It will be last name, then first name, then will be confirmation number. So the number will be 2023 because that is for the DV coming lottery. Then the number will be able to come there in the year of birth, something like that. So that will be the overall application, how it is. But there are a few things I wanted to correspond. I'll go to post this one. These are the frequently asked questions about the passport. This is from the US government, from the Department of State, because many people have been filling this one, so they went ahead and applying. So for the case of Venezuela, they said if passport has expired, they can add 5 years automatically. So I know you are not from Venezuela. Can I use the refugee travel document to satisfy the passport requirement after submitting the entry? If you are applying for the diversity visa program, do not have the valid passport, but you have the refugee travel document, you may enter your refugee travel document number in the place of the passport, along with the issuing entity and expiration date. So for the refugees with those documents from UNHCR or United Nations in general, will be able to use that. That's what they say. Not all the refugee documents meet the definition of the passport as defined by Immigration for Nationality Act 101, subsection A, subsection 30. So you can be able to use that one. How do I know if I will qualify for the passport exemption as a stateless person at the time of the entry? They explain how difficult it is. In general, the stateless is a rare situation. If you claim this one, they explain everything. To claim as a national communist country, the DV entrant who selected this exemption at the time will be able to ask to explain why they were able to get this one. You have the burden to prove on that. That's why I say people in Afghanistan, they can have the burden to prove. They have that way to explain. So this, I can post this one in the on the comment. You can be able to see that information. Where I got it is from the Department of State. So dvprogram.state.gov. This is the website you'll be able to go and apply when the application comes. Again, when you come here on the day of application, you cannot see the form now. It will say begin entry in green. That will be you'll be able to see on the application. You'll be able to see that particular image, which shows, let me show you what do I mean, so that I don't want people to come here later. Oh, I didn't know how to go about it. Yeah, so those are the things you need to make sure that you understand them. And when the time comes, you'll be able to be asked to fill the form. There will be something called begin the entry. And that one is where you'll be able to go ahead and you see when it comes to the application. That is when they say begin entry. That is the application when you are supposed to start. But at the moment, if you see, when you go now, you cannot see that. You can be able to check the results. But when the application comes, it will change. It will say, it will give the photo instructions. You'll be able to see that, and we'll see the beginning entry of the application form. So that is something you need to do. Again, the website is dvprogram.state.gov. Any website without that is fake. You can see on the screen www.dvprogram.state.gov. That is the website, and the only time you can apply is when the application is open. It doesn't matter whether you apply on day 1 or the last day. There is no advantage of if I apply on the first day or last day. Once you apply, and then you get this confirmation number, they are not going to send this confirmation number to your email. You have to print out, or you have to take a picture and send it to your own email, save it on your own. They are not going to send this one. And if you submit by mistake, you didn't take a picture or didn't print, don't do another application. If you go to do another application, they will say your application is duplicate information. If you go ahead, they will deny. If you win, they're not going even to allow you to win. They're going to eliminate you because you'll be a duplicate application. Each person has one application. So that is very, very important. I want to make sure that you understand on that. If you have any question, please let me know. Otherwise, I would like to appreciate each and everyone who has been here to support my YouTube channel for this time. And I would like to ask people to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I have 2 channels. Another channel, if you do not know, is that one, which is youtube.com/EBMSwahili. So that is another site which you need to know that you can be able to use it and can be able to help you in one way or another. There are so many things on this channel. Just beyond the green card lottery, people who are looking for scholarships, people who are looking for ways on how they can be able to excel on their own life. So you can be able to see, if you come on, if you just open the website, you'll be able to see videos about scholarships, green card lottery, writing books, visas. There are so many things you can be able to see. If you come to the playlist, you can be able to get everything you need to know. But we are in the season of the green card lottery and the season for the application for the application for what? For scholarships. So we'll be doing a lot of videos about that. So you'll be able to see a lot of scholarships, a lot about scholarship videos, and a lot about yeah. So that will be something you'll be able to understand. So you can be able to check on that that site, but also for other people who want to check my other channel, this is my other channel. You can be able to check. There are so many videos there. You can be able to check my EBM Swahili channel too. You can be able to get me there. Yeah. For those who want to follow me on Instagram, that is my Instagram account, EBM Signature and EBM Scholars. For the Telegram group is EBM Scholars channel. That's the name, is a public channel. You can be able to join there. For people who are looking for scholarships, you can go to the EBMscholarships.com, get them there. On the Facebook, you can go to the Facebook groups and find the green card information. You can be able to find our green card group, which we also post information over there. Apart from that, I would like to appreciate each and everyone for your continued support of my YouTube channel and myself. This month will be going to application, will be updating. Make sure that you don't do any mistake which can be able to cost your opportunity for you to apply and apply properly at the win and get the visa. So thank you each and everyone. In case I haven't been able to answer any person's questions on the chat, my apologies. I didn't want to focus on questions. I was focusing on making sure that I don't get distracted about the questions which are out of the form. I want just to answer all the questions about the form at the moment. And this to be is the guide on the application form guide, which you need to know. So thank you and all the best, each and everyone. May God bless you and all the best in the application. And those who have won for the previously lottery, welcome to the United States. And if you have any question about adjustment in the starting, succeeding, challenges, let me know. I'll be able to do that too.